What's happened, I thought that, offensively we were very efficient. We went back and tried to simplify and just make sure that we did things the right way, and I don't think we had a penalty on offense, and we might have had one bad snap, but the ball was never out. And when you do that, you have a chance. Defensively, we gave up some yardage and some first downs, but we did a decent job of keeping them out of the end zone, and we got some turnovers that set up short scores. So it was a crazy game. They for a team that goes fast, I think there was only 8 or 9 offensive possessions, so there wasn't a lot of possessions. And the way the game was going, we were pretty efficient on offense, so I felt like we had the game pretty much in hand.
Okay. Questions for Coach Johnson?
It seemed like the pitch relationship was much improved with Taquan and the backs, and that led to some big plays early in the game for you on offense.
It's a little better, yeah. I think that we spent a lot of time working on it. There's still a lot of things we got to get better at, but that looked more like one of our football teams.
You've talked about it, about Taquan's passing, and mentioned that he throws the ball well in practice, and I guess today he showed everybody that the Taquan you saw in practice.
When you give him time, I mean, nobody can throw the ball when they don't have time, and most of the stuff we threw today was play action. Other than the first play, we were trying to isolate on a certain player, and other than that, it was pretty much all play action. And he really could have, the one that he threw to Quay could have been caught. So, I thought he did a good job. He came out and played a clean game. I don't know that he missed a read on the option. Got the ball dealt and played very well.
First time since you've been here where your team has scored in every single possession in a half. I'm guessing life would be much easier if that happens all the time.
Well, it would help. And like I said, it was a nice job of executing, and we hit some big plays in the passing game in the first half.
What do you kind of take away from a game like this and with the opponents stuff? Is this just about building rhythm to get into league play?
I think that we played better. We didn't put the ball on the ground. We didn't turn the ball over. We didn't have the stupid penalties. And it's like I told our guys, it's about us. It's not about who you play most of the time. It's about you. And next week we got to go to Louisville and play, and it's still going to be about us. You got to play without putting the ball on the ground. You can't have a bunch of missed assignments and missed coverages and those kind of things. We still got some work to do on the tempo stuff. I mean, they got us several times, especially on short yardage, with sneaks, snapping the ball before we were ready to play and all that. But so there's still a lot to work on. It was disappointing we had a penalty on Wanye's kickoff return. He did a nice job with that. And, the one guy who has been pretty consistent for the most part of the year is Presley, punting the ball. I mean, he hit a great punt. We wore him out last week, so it was good we didn't have to use him much today.
Coach, it just appeared that today it didn't matter who the opponent was. It was more about Tech, and it was about you guys getting what you needed to get done.
That's
today.
correct. I mean, we've dug ourselves a hole, and we've got to dig it out 1 week at a time. And it's not undoable. It's like I said, we've got to go to Louisville now, win an ACC game on the road, and then we're back to even. And we'll play the last half of the season and see where it goes.
In terms of having a short week and a game on Friday, I imagine only having to really play your starters for 2 quarters and maybe like a fifth of a quarter really helps.
Yeah, we'll practice tomorrow. So we have to change the schedule. We gave the kids Friday off. So they had Friday of this week off. We didn't have any meetings or anything. Maybe that's what we need to do all the time. Literally when I used to coach at Georgia Southern, and we never met on Friday, never went to a hotel. We managed to win 38 games in a row at home, so might be overrated.
Coach, you kind of shook up things at kicker after you expressed some discontent with how things were going.
No, we just had, we've struggled there, and I thought Sean did a great job kicking off. I mean, he did a great job today with that. But, we've missed a couple extra points. We've missed some field goals, so we had a kicking competition this week in practice, and the freshman won. So when he won, he got to kick.
Do you expect to see him receiving kicks going forward?
Absolutely, till he misses.
You got some nice plays from your defensive line and some tip balls, and then also the interception by Henry. And it seemed like he had a great game today.
Yeah, I thought Henry was playing hard. I mean, it's hard to tell in there to watch the tape. Victor had a big play where they kind of turned him loose on the backside, and he got a big sack, forced a fumble, and so we had some plays. We've just got to be a little better on third down.
We got to see a little more of Charlie Thomas today. What did you see from
We
him?
actually moved Charlie to Jack, so he's playing over there, so he'll be playing moving forward. He and Vic will split that up probably.
You pulled Jahazel after the bad snap. Is the center position something that you're going to have to look at the tape and see what's going to happen?
No, but I mean, you pull guys out if they make a mistake, and in a perfect world, probably. In all honesty, in the perfect world, if we could get them all healthy, Kenny Cooper would be the center and Jahazel would be the starting tackle where he started for 2 years. Jahazel, I can't say enough good things about Jahazel because he went in from tackle and played center when we didn't have anybody. So he had to learn on the job starting the last week of spring and fall camp, and he's done a good job with it. So, he's certainly one of our better players. We got to find a place. If we can get Kenny back out there, we got to find a place for Jahazel to play.
Can you kind of describe Daquan's jump really from last couple weeks, and making the reads, as you said, and what kind of goes into that?
Played better.
Can you talk a little bit about Tobias? He came off and had some nice runs, broke free kind of a couple times for you on offense.
He's really quick. He's shifty, and when he gets downhill, and he's quicker than people think. I was giving him a hard time on the sideline. I told him he went 62 yards in 13 seconds. I said, that's not real good. But he continues to progress. I think the very first play he was in there, sometimes he don't want to turn it loose, but then the next play he pitched it. So, he'll learn the more he plays.
Coach, can you speak to some of the adjustments you made on defense to get a little more pressure on Daggy? And then just also some of the reaction that you have with the secondary on how better or how they play.
I think they have some pretty good – I told the coach after the game, I think they have some pretty good wide receivers. And they were quick. And to start the game, we weren't getting inside the third guy on some of those RPOs and some of that. We changed up a little. We started to stem a little bit, but there wasn't a great deal of change. I mean, I think it's like anything with the defense. For Nate, sometimes it's frustrating because he doesn't have everything in, and sometimes there's stuff that you want to run that's not in, and so we stayed fairly vanilla at times, which is what we did on offense. And I think the more we're out there, the more he'll get in, and the more pressure stuff you'll see and those kind of things.
Coach, I think it was your second possession. You went fourth and goal. Was that about place keeping confidence, or was that about?
It was about I was pissed off we didn't get in on third down because we should have. And so, we'd have done that no matter who we were playing. It didn't have anything to do with the kicker.
Some of the fundamentals you were talking about last week, defensively, what did you see in terms of progress being,
You really have to watch the tape. But I thought we did a good job against the run game. I mean, they struggled to run the ball, and they became somewhat one-dimensional. And while they converted too many third downs and possessed the ball, I don't know what the time of possession was. It had to be close. Well, actually, there were 33 minutes, and we were 26. And that's some of it's scoring a little faster on offense, but their third downs were 11 to 19. I mean, that's not going to survive like that. We've got to do better on third down.
Anything else for Coach Johnson?
Coach, you talked about their wide receivers. How would you assess your wide receivers today?
I thought they played well. We didn't throw the ball a lot, but they cracked and blocked and got after folks. It was good to see Steve make a play. The ball was underthrown just a little, and he came back and got it. Steve Dolphus. Jalen made a couple of nice plays. Clinton made a play. So, those guys today was a day that they – Brad really didn't get one thrown his way, but I remember the very first time we cracked the safety. I mean, he almost knocked him out over there on their bench. So those guys, I think, played well.
Last one right here.
Can you talk about Clinton getting the 1,000 receiving yards, now 1,000 rush?
Yeah,
1,000
well, just
receiving?
happy for Clinton. He's been a good player and been consistent. And, you know, if there's one guy that always seems to be around big plays, it's Clinton. He just has a knack for being in the right spot at the right time. And when he's there, he usually makes the play.